So again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the Prophet and his family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us and our families. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this gathering. So today, I will talk to you about the effects of untreated mental health issues on families, when is it time for therapy, and how to deal with intense pain. How to deal with intense pain, inshallah. Okay, so before I begin, raise your hand if you go to the dentist on a regular basis. I go to the dentist on a regular basis. Okay. Raise your hand if you go to a medical doctor on a regular basis. Yeah, right? Okay, good. So why don't we go to a therapist on a regular basis? Why don't we go see a therapist on a regular basis? Isn't our mental health important as well? We take care of our physical body, right? We take care of our inner, right? Our teeth. But we don't go to a therapist for, I don't know why, right? I don't know why. We need to start normalizing therapy. Therapy needs to be normalized in our communities. It must. Just the way we see a doctor regularly, a dentist regularly, everyone in this room. So let me just answer your question. When is it time for therapy? Now. Every single one of you need to be in therapy. That's the answer, inshallah. So let me explain why, and let me move forward. So now let's look at a family that has been affected by mental health issues, okay? So I want everyone to close their eyes, really envision what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna paint you a picture of what a family looks like when one person does not get professional help. So you have a violent, angry father who comes home, angry from work, breaking everyone's spirit, disrupting the entire home. Then there's the demanding in-laws in the background. You have an enabling mother. Due to the violence, loss of independence, family demands, and lack of validation, starts enabling the children. She now enables her children by allowing things that she normally wouldn't do and knows are unhealthy. She doesn't even know what is right from wrong anymore. Ya Allah. Now, you have a brother who probably has the same anger issues started emulating the father. The mother feels guilty, gives him money. He also starts disrupting the family. Remember, anger turned inward is depression. So another brother, depressed, is using his sexuality to drown his sorrows. A sister ignored, never validated, seeks male attention, outside, dressing inappropriately, starts dating. To sum it up, you end up with an entire unit of dysfunctional, underdeveloped individuals who cannot function in society. So, how do the children respond when mental health issues go untreated? Children seek to escape dysfunctional situations using drugs, alcohol, media, apostasy, suicide. Children seek attention elsewhere. They might get a boyfriend, right? Girlfriend, negative friends, seeking that attention there. What are the long-term effects on children? Low self-esteem, they develop self-harm behaviors, and the dysfunctional cycle continues. Let's look at low self-esteem. Their basic primitive needs are not being met when mental health issues go untreated. Children are never validated. They go around the world feeling like they are not good enough. They become disconnected to themselves. My feelings don't matter. They develop a defense mechanism where they stop feeling, let me not rock the boat. I don't want to get dad angry. I don't want to get dad more angry, right? So they stop feeling. They look for validation outside of themselves, so they become codependent to society. Basically, they can't even function in society anymore. Now let's look at self-harm. Here, they use self-harm to numb their pain. They engage in substance abuse, right? They use their sexuality, self-medicate, suicidal ideation develops. And this is becoming more and more prevalent in our communities. So they become unaware individuals that continue the cycle of dysfunction. They repeat the cycle. They do it to their own spouse and children. Do you see the domino effect? The father with anger issues was never treated. The mother started developing codependent tendencies, enabling. One child starts using drugs to numb his pain. Now both parents are preoccupied with that one child on drugs. The other siblings develop self-harm behavior, other drug issues, due to the lack of attention and coping mechanisms. Now you have a family who never learned how to process their emotions. Now these children pass negative habits to their own kids. The dysfunction has to stop now, honestly. The dysfunction has to stop now. Now let's look at some realities. Mental health issues are becoming more and more prevalent. Anxiety is the leading mental health issue among American youth. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among 15 to 24-year-olds. 20% of youth ages 13 to 18 actually live with a mental health condition. And this is for our communities as well. This applies to our communities as well. It's becoming more prevalent. And depression among Muslim women is on a rise. So why don't we get the help? Why don't we get the help? I'll tell you why. What will people say? Right? What will people say? In Urdu, they say, "Log kya kahenge?" Oh my goodness, what are people gonna say? Just pray, just pray. If there's any Bengali people here, "Mainche kita hoibo," right? What are people gonna say? These are the responses we get from our communities. We live in communities affected by by negative cultural and societal trends. Basically, we have normalized the angry spouse, the angry dad, right? It's a man thing. No, it's not a man thing. It's a dysfunction thing. It's a dysfunction thing. It is what men do who do not know how to process their emotions because they were never taught to process their emotions. They don't know. There is no excuse for you to go around breaking family members' spirits. And this not just applies to men. It can be vice versa, right? It could be the angry mother, right? We also have normalized hiding our problems. We hide them. Hiding our children being on drugs, having depressive symptoms, anxiety issues due to shame, not getting them the help they need. No, that is not normal. It is not normal. It affects your other children as well. It affects the entire family, and it affects generations to come. It really does. The dysfunction really has to stop in our communities. It really does. Further, we have normalized emotional abuse from in-laws. That's a big one, right? That's a big one. No one's really talking about that one. The excuse is, oh, they're old. No, that is not normal. The in-law may be having narcissistic tendencies or other issues they never dealt with. So go get help. Dysfunction is dysfunction no matter who is involved. Why else don't we get help? Lack of awareness on how to get help, right? Lack of knowledge of current world dynamics. Language barriers, right? There's a language barrier. But again, no excuses, because guess what? Now we have therapists from all types of backgrounds. Too busy? You have phone sessions available. Mothers with 3 or 4 kids or 5 kids, we have the phone sessions available. Or digital conferencing options are available as well. Remember, as far as what will people say, we are not here to impress God's creations. We are here to impress the Creator. So go get help, the help you need. Alhamdulillah, thank you guys. So when do we need therapy? Everyone should see a therapist. It is a neutral person you can talk to. We are living in challenging times, right? And there are obvious reasons. You can always go to my website to see this, but I do want to get to some, I have like 10 minutes left, so I'm gonna move on. But the obvious reasons, obviously, is to see a therapist when you're developing psychotic symptoms, repetitive thoughts, repetitive behaviors, intense mood fluctuations, uncontrollable sadness, anger, and suicidal thoughts. If you're abusing drugs, alcohol, using intimacy to cope with pain, right? If you're losing someone, someone is really ill at this point, you lost someone important to you. And a pertinent sign you need therapy is if you are unable to function in society, like for instance, maintain a job, right? Maintain good grades at school, or maintain healthy relationships. Those are like key signs. What about medication? Okay, this is important as well, parents, especially parents here, right? Who don't know, wait, is this okay or not okay? Medication may be needed for certain circumstances, and it's okay. Disorders can develop from distinct triggers, biological, traumatic, situational. But sometimes you will just need medication because there's simply a hormonal imbalance. Sometimes you will need medication as a crutch to help you through intense anxiety, intense depressive symptoms. And that is okay, parents. That is okay. And let me explain why. I usually tell this to people. Picture a person with a broken leg. Crutches help this person function until their legs heal, right? So you use a crutch. Just picture that in your head. Envision it. It is the same concept. Medication may be necessary to provide support until you heal emotionally. As parents, your offsprings may need it. And that does not mean you're a bad parent. It really doesn't. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. And it doesn't mean your child or you will be on medication for the rest of your life. The psychiatrist, nurse practitioner can wean you off when you have developed those healthy mechanisms, right? So you need to, and you don't decide that on your own. You decide that with your support system, right? With your support system. Benefits of therapy, right? So there's a lot of benefits to therapy if you look at these studies mentioned above. You need to have the right resources in place when life hits you. A therapist, a psychiatrist, a guidance counselor, school psychologist, the principal, your 5-pack. What I mean by 5-pack is 5 or less people that you trust 100%, that have been there for you consistently. So you know these are the people that you are going to go to as soon as life hits you, right? We will be challenged, right? And that's when you go to them. And then you have to know clearly that you will do what you will do when intense tests come. So you have to have those resources right in place. Here's my psychologist, here's my therapist, this person, that person, this person, there's my best friend, and this is who I go to, right? So you have a circle of people helping you. Let's move on. And some solutions, and I'm gonna post this PowerPoint on my website, inshallah, so you can look at this in detail. So let's go to intense pain. 5 minutes left. I have 5 minutes left. Okay. So let's talk about intense pain. Okay. Loved ones dying, terminal illness, right? Betrayal. What do we do? What do we do? We all are going to deal with intense pain, right? That's just, it's a given, right? It's a given. This life consists of hardship and ease. You have to accept this fact, right? But which one will you focus on? What will you do when the intense pain, when the tests come? And then what will you what will you do with the blessings? We have to know this, right? So intense pain. I'm going to share some techniques right now. Okay? Ready? Okay, because I have 5 minutes, so I'm going to use that 5 minutes to share those techniques. Okay. So one technique that really works is you acknowledge how you're feeling, and this is where you take the notes, guys, okay? So I'm going to put this here. Okay, there you go. So this is where you can take a screenshot. I have these copies out here for you. So how do you deal with intense pain? I feel angry right now because I failed my test, and it's okay, I accept you. That's one technique. I feel angry right now because I'm feeling so sad right now because my father is dying, and it's okay, I accept you. You say this every time you feel an intense emotion. What is the concept behind it? Basically, you're accepting Allah's decree. You're basically saying, Inna lillahi wa inna raji'un. You're accepting it. You're watching your thoughts, you're watching your emotions, and letting it pass through you, right? The more you watch your thoughts and the more you watch your emotions, it's able to pass, and God can do through you. The next step, the next strategy. Let's say you have a week and you hear that your mother just got diagnosed with cancer. Ya Allah. Now I'm not saying this is what, like just say hypothetically. You say, I accept my mother was just diagnosed with cancer. I accept that my son is not doing well in school. You just keep writing that over and over and over. Again, what's the concept behind that? These emotions, the reality that God's decree is passing through you. You're acknowledging it. The more you acknowledge it, the more you watch it, it has less control over you. Understand? Number 3. Make a list of people who are in less fortunate situations. So literally when you're feeling those intense emotions, I want you to stop, take out a post-it, take out a paper and be like, okay, I'm not paralyzed right now. I'm not paralyzed. I can eat. I can still clean myself, right? Because some people can't. They're paralyzed in the bed, right? So you're gonna do, that's the third technique. The fourth technique, which you know, read the Quran, pray, recite your Qul 3 times a day, right? And do your dhikr. Sometimes when you're in so much pain, you're not gonna want to do anything. You become immobile, right? You're gonna still open the Quran and you're gonna read those verses. Even though you don't feel something right away, you will heal. Your soul will heal, inshallah. Next, number 5. This is very important, and I do this on a regular basis, and I teach this to my clients and my students. Weekly reflection and quarterly hardship and ease list. What do I mean by a weekly reflection? Every week on Friday, what I would like for you to do is make a list of your positive, all your actions. Monday, what did I do? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then put positive or negative next to it. The negatives, you're gonna work on. So again, what happens? You are developing awareness, right? You're developing awareness. You're keeping track of your life, right? Your actions. And then I want you to do quarterly list of a hardship and ease. What do I mean by that? Every 3 months, so let's say, today's what? It's April now, right? So you go back and you look at the 3 months and you make a list of all your hardships. Like, I had to go to the hospital at 3 in the morning with my son because he had an ear infection. Then I had to get up at 5 in the morning and still go to work. And you make a list of all of that. Then you make a list of all your blessings that same month, during that same month. And you know what ends up happening? Guess what? Life's not that, you realize, wow, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me hardships, there were so many blessings tucked in there. So you do that quarterly. So you have your weekly reflection, right? Where you reflect and you do this. Honestly, consistently, you will see a difference in your life. I promise you, inshallah. And then you do the quarterly reflections, right? Where you look at your hardships and your blessings, and you're like, wow, even though I had this going on, I had this going on too. Alhamdulillah, right? Then you have your, which is, a gratitude list, a processing list, right? And realize time heals everything. So give it some time, right? You can have affirmation cards that you read. And then remember, this is key. Reach out to your resource team. Everyone must have that. We must have a resource team. Okay, great. So strength is the ability to come to terms with changed relationships and distinct life circumstances, right? We have to learn to get back up when life hits us. Accept it and not personalize it. Process it and trust God's plan, right? We have to trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests the ones He loves most, right? He will not put us through a test that we cannot handle. Our God is loving. God is loving. Remember that. When those tests come in your life, know that we have a loving God, right? And this is just dunya. Just dunya. Just dunya. Just dunya. Remember that. The test of God will exist until our last breath, but there will be blessings too, right? Enjoy the blessings, overcome the challenges. Accept this reality and never give up. We are warriors as Muslims. We are warriors. Believe that. We have a beautiful reward at the end of us, right? And that is what? Heaven, inshallah, right? So get the mental health help you need. And for you and your families, inshallah. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, sorry, okay?
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Farjana. So that concludes the speech segment of the session, and now we'll move to the Q&A portion of the panel. So basically, if you have any questions and answers, or if you have any questions, you can move up a little bit, you can raise your hand, and I'll call on you. You can either, if you have a question specific to one of the speakers,